I'm Tony Brown. In a moment, did black spark white civilization? Were the Egyptians black or white? Are black Americans linked to the Nile Valley civilization? And why is that important? Is it true? Are black scholars distorting history to make black people feel good? Are you familiar with Joseph H. Greenberg? In my opinion, he should be required reading for Black History Month. Richard Poe is the author of Black Spark White Fire and the former senior editor of Success Magazine. He is also an avocational archaeologist. I've really enjoyed your book, Black Spark White Fire. Where'd the name come from? I read the book, but I didn't get the connection with Black Spark White Fire.
Well, the name refers to one of the ideas I talk about is the fact that some scholars have alleged that European civilization had its origin in Africa. And that's a whole other subject. I don't know if we're going to get into that as much, but there's a theory which I explore that civilization began in Egypt, and that to a great extent what we call Western civilization, which arose in Greece, was directly influenced by the Egyptians, not only through Greeks studying in Egyptian temples and so forth, but perhaps even through direct colonization of Greece. So what I would be referring to in the title is the black spark of Egyptian and African civilization, sparking the fire or the conflagration of European civilization, or Western civilization as it's called.
Well, let's get into that. That's a very good starting point. Now,
Okay.
Conventional wisdom among conventional historians and scholars is that Egypt is in essence not a part of Africa, and that in effect, and I have read directly this, that Egyptians were white. Would you comment on those 2 points?
Well, sure. You know, the Egyptians, by any normally accepted American definition of the word, were certainly black. I don't think you'll find, in fact, any expert who's really studied the issue who disagree with it. That's the interesting thing about it. To the average person, there's a big controversy over whether the Egyptians were black. But I was in a debate, for instance, with Mary Lefkowitz. Now, she wrote a book called Not Out of Africa, in which she purported to debunk supposedly all the Afrocentric claims, and she's always held up as the Bible of the anti-Afrocentrists. Now, I debated her on the Armstrong-Williams show, and I asked her directly, and Armstrong asked her directly, were the Egyptians black? And she actually admitted that they were.